Good morning, students. In today's lecture, I'll be talking about Alexander Pope's life and his works. Alexander Pope is regarded as the chief poet not only of the Queen Anne period but of the 18th century. Pope was born in London in 1688, the year of the revolution that resulted in the expulsion of James II and the settlement of the crown in the Protestant succession. His age is also spoken of as the Augustan age because contemporary critics they believe that the age of Pope that the age of Pope to the because they compare it to the age of the golden age of literature, like the age of Augustus was the golden age of Latin literature. Now the terms classic and Augustan they are perhaps unjustified when applied to the age of Pope, but they have come to stick and may be conveniently used if we talk about the poetry of the age. His father was a Catholic, and at that time, the believers of that faith were subjected to many atrocities, like they were charged double and they were not allowed to even own the real estate. They were not allowed to become the members of the House of Commons. Their children were not even allowed to attend the public schools. Therefore, the result was that Pope's education was desultory. Although, um, although afterwards he made up by quickness and aptitude. But the greatest worry was that he suffered from the spinal disease, which left him deformed and sick for the rest of his life. Therefore, he stated his life as one long disease. Now, if we talk about his quotations, they are the current expression of the world than any other man except Shakespeare. Now, the Pastorals was his first work, and it was written when he was only 16, but they were not published till he was 21. The work is written in heroic couplet, and it was published probably in 1709. Pope has also translated Greek and Latin classics, especially Homer, into English, and particularly Iliad and Odyssey. Now, the Rape of the Lock was the famous mock heroic poem, and the incident on which the book was based was the stealing of a lock of hair by Lord Petre from Miss Arabella Fermor. Now, the poem traces the course of the fateful day when Belinda, the society beauty, wakes up, glorifies her appearance at a dressing table, plays card, drinks coffee, and has her hair ravaged. It was published in 1712 in two cantos. Afterwards, in 14, it appeared in five cantos. Pope has also employed supernatural machinery, and the work has been influenced by Boileau's work. Now, the Dunciad is his best known satire, also in mock heroic style, and basically an attack on the author's literary rivals, critics, and his enemies. Now, this book is directed against dullness, which gradually takes over the world and reduces it to chaos and darkness. The famous quote, "A little learning is a dangerous thing," has been taken from Essay on Criticism. Both his works, Essay on Man and Essay on Criticism, it summarizes with great skill the critical canons of the day as taught by Horace and Boileau. And in writing this work, his aim was to restate the code of the ancients. he was influenced by Bolingbroke, who was also his friend, and by the philosophy of Leibniz. Now, his aim in writing Essay on Man was to vindicate the ways of God to men. It's also written in the form of epistles, and in it, he talks about man in relation with the universe, with himself, with society, and with happiness. Now, his work, Epistle to Dr. Arvid Knott, explores the whole question of man's place in the universe and his moral and social responsibilities in the world. It contains four poems and they are addressed to his friends. And the first epistle is addressed to Viscount. It sets forth the difficulties in judging human character. The second book is addressed to Lady Martha and deals with the characters of women. The third epistle is addressed to Lord Bathurst and deals with the abuses of riches. The fourth book is addressed to Lord Burlington and discusses about rich architecture and tasteless use of wealth. That's all for today. In my next session, we would be talking about his ode on solitude, which is prescribed in our course. Thank you.